Let's check this shit out. Mhm. And we're live. Yeah, so in 2 minutes, we're gonna start this, get this show on the road. I hope you guys hear me clear enough. If you don't hear me, please let us know in the chat. It's our debut stream, so go easy on us. We will try to keep it light and casual today, and probably. Hey Sammy, how are you doing? Thank you for joining. Let us know if you hear us clear and loud. Yeah, as I was. Only for the left channel. Let me try and fix that somehow. Is it just voice that you can hear from the left channel, right? I see what I did there. Give me just 1 second. I think I'll be able to fix it. Test. I think it's still, testing. Testing this thing. Testing this thing. Let me try this real quick and see what's happening. Testing. I think I may have a solution for this. Give me just 1 second. I expecting something will go terribly wrong, but I guess this is okay. Testing. Okay, let's do this. Now you should hear me from both channels. Did I fix it? Hey Kevin, hey Mirza. You should receive me now from both channels, I think. Testing, test. Oh, awesome. Okay, it seems that I'm the glorious one. Okay, let's get the show on the road then. We got it here today to try and show you guys some basic sound design things that you can do at home without spending too much or any money. We pretty much brought a bunch of the things that you can find in any household. Some pretty basic equipment that you can borrow or even buy, because everything here is super inexpensive. We have pretty much wasted and broken cymbal here that was shredded to pieces, but we took it to a hardware shop and they just kind of cut it from all sides to make it this kind of splashy thing. I think we will just dive in and start with this. We do have all sorts of microphones, but we will use small diaphragm condenser microphone. And don't worry, we will talk more on microphones and microphone types in the following streams. But right now, we want to capture as much details as we can from the close-up of this cymbal, so we can make some nice textures and some nice maybe loops or even pings or whooshes or whatever we can get from this thing by scratching it, slamming it, and grinding against it. So stay tuned. Maybe we will make something useful for you guys to actually use in your music later. Hope you guys enjoy it. Give me just 1 second to set up the mic. Oh, thanks. By the way, these are my bros here. You know this guy probably from Yatakuna drum kit that many of you have downloaded from a website. He made that one. He made 4 more that I was too able to cut. Too lazy, but I will do it this week. I promise. So you will get new raw drum sounds like I promised long ago. But now let's get to this. I will use this super inexpensive microphone. That is Electro Voice PL37. I think it's like, now it's around 40 euros. It's a small diaphragm overhead that comes like as a stock overhead in their cheapest drum set. So let's see what we can do with it. You guys should be able to hear this cymbal, right? Let me know. Okay, I'll just record the whole thing and cut everything out later. And maybe I'll just have Yatakuna make some of his magic. Go ahead, grind it, give it a shot. Let's see those signals and see if it's too loud or whatever.
Okay, just single shot, you know.
Just single shot. Give it a bit more. Yeah.
You can go and
Yeah, my internet is probably crappy in the studio because I'm so far away from the wireless router, but I'll probably have cable set up for the next time. I realized that. Give me just a few single shots with the soft side, like one and let it bleed, and the other and let it bleed. And again. Cool, let's try to make some textures, but maybe grind it a bit, or something that you did before. Let's try the knife. I want to try the knife. It's a ordinary kitchen knife. Let's see what happens there. Cool. Now let's press pause on this. Let me just explain one thing, real quick. Why did we use small diaphragm mic here? Because in this type of samples, right now, we don't want too much room. I want those things to give me one of those mullets, or yeah, thanks. I want these things to be super loud and to capture all this detail. If we used big condenser mic, we would capture those details, but also all kinds of other shit in the room, like our trousers or Leica moving on that small thing right there, hiding from the camera. But yeah, what I would advise for any sound designer, especially home people who are working at home and don't have access to studios, get one of these, or preferably pair of these, and maybe this thing. I'll try to show it as close as I can. It's called stereo bar. You can mount it on a mic stand and have two mics here and record everything in stereo. I had a bit of an accident and my mixer died this morning, so we are doing this mono right now. But in general, what everyone would prefer is like having this type of textures nicely done in stereo, so you can have this thing spread around across the room from left to right or other way around, just to have a bit more space. But having in mind that these things are going to be probably textures or something that is super simple, I think we're gonna get by with these today. But for the next sample pack, we'll definitely do everything in stereo with both small diaphragms and large diaphragms, so you can see what happens with one and the other, and also have everything routed perfectly in the mixer, like as we failed to do today. So what we can do now is try and give you an insight in the Slam library that we are preparing to release this month. We brought some of the things from the scrapyard that we used for the actual library, and we will give it a few hits right now, so we can get some of those samples today, even before we release the actual library. So stay tuned. Like you can see, this is the... in all honesty, I really don't know what this is.
This is a part of air conditioning.
Ah, Halaka says it's a part of air conditioning system. And I think it's some sort of vent that we'll try to pick up now, again, like we did. In the actual library, we did this with many microphone positions, so sound of this thing was captured really thoroughly. This thing plus many other things that we used from those ventilation systems, but we can give you a taste now with this small thing, just a quick look so you can see what's gonna happen there. Okay, take it away. Hit it. And again. I don't know how you guys are hearing this out, but in here, it's almost a full trailer hit. It's almost full trailer hit. Give it just one more hit, please, if you can.
Yeah, and with the stick.
And maybe we can try with sticks. Yeah. That's cool. Mirza asked the question, what's the rule of thumb for mic placement when recording samples? Basically, what I would recommend for mic or miking for samples is the same thing that you would do, same thing that you would do for the recording of any other acoustic instrument. Yes, like Sammy said, it depends on the mic and depends on what you want to get. And since you're already asking questions, and I already kind of touched on the large and the small diaphragm microphones, what I can say for sure is that there is no there is no absolute rule that I can say do it like this, and that, and you will get this, and that. There is no rule. All you can do is take something like this, pick it up, hit it from few sides, and see where the sound is coming off, from which side, from which hole, from is it from up, from above. We tried this
On
thing.
Junkyard, we put two mics, one under the thing and
Yeah.
the other was on
Yeah, I don't think they can hear you clearly as I can now, but I will tell them. In the original samples, I think we used these two mics like A/B stereo, like one was on top and the other one was underneath, because we had two types of sound coming up and down. I'm guessing depending on the air pressure. So they gave us a really nice blend later in the mix. But in general, like with the acoustic guitar, most of the people will say, just stick up anything around the 12th fret or whatever. No, you have to stand in front of the player and listen to that guitar to see where the sound you want to record is coming off. And then you decide if you want to capture it in the really small detail, like with a small diaphragm microphone that will give you away pretty much polar response, pretty much the same across the board, or with a large diaphragm thing that you want to capture. Maybe we want to capture some part of the room or the general atmosphere around the instrument. I'm guessing that you can do all types of combinations. For the large metals, we used large dynamic microphones like kick mics, like Shure Beta 52 is right here on the stand, and the SM57. That is pretty much microphone that you can find in any store or any stage around the world, any concert. They call it industry standard. I call it just pretty much the most usual mic in the industry, right?
Yes.
Like on every snare drum or the guitar amp, you'll find one. But yeah, if you want to capture super loud sounds, use dynamic microphones, put them up pretty close. If you want to capture some sounds, like detailed sounds, use small diaphragms. If you want to capture more of the atmosphere and more of the bass response, use large diaphragms. But keep in mind on the SPL levels and the specifications of every microphone, because some of the large diaphragm microphones will not suffer loud elements or the kick drums or things like that. So just keep in mind that you don't wreck your gear when you start smashing things around your house. I hope this answers your question. Can you give it just a few more hits so we can have a few more booms and...
Okay.
That's cool, thanks. Maybe we can get some of those pipes and that pingy stuff that we used, like for pings, and take this thing away. We are of course having some beers here because we like keeping everything as casual as possible. So cheers. Give it just a bit closer so everyone can see. Just a bit more up so everyone can see it in the camera. There. Thanks. Smack it a bit. Cool. Maybe you can use sticks now or something. You're playing the acrobatics now.
I forget what we
Nice.
used. Something like this, I guess.
You can maybe you can hear it, but there's some resonance that changes when I move this thing around. And some of these sounds now may sound like shit to you, but in sound design is basically what the sound design is taking some sound and knowing exactly what to do with it to turn it into a nice ping or a really nice signature sound. Like this thing can be made to be actually playable. So thanks. And what we're gonna do here is basically take all of these samples, arrange them, and cut them up for you, make a nice sample pack, and give you guys few examples what we did with those samples, like few examples of few intros or few sound design things that we made out of them, and maybe later we can discuss like what did you do with that thing to make it sound like this or that, and we can maybe give you more tips if you're interested, of course. Now we have some more trash that we're gonna smash here, and Laka seems pretty eager to do it, so let's give him some gain here. Okay, that's a bit hot. Now. Again. Here's a boom. Great. Thanks. He kind of owns the scrapyard that we were recording on, so he is really into smashing stuff. But he's a decent guitar player, that's why we keep him on. And he's so fucking beautiful. He keeps us all, you know, on the market, I guess.
This thing is actually very interesting.
Yeah, this is, I think, is a piece of a truck.
Truck wheel.
It's a piece of a truck wheel, and it's super heavy, so you know this guy is super strong. You can probably hear that this thing has some really nice ring out that we'll be able to use in bunch of interesting situations. Let it ring out all the way. I know it's heavy, but you're a strong one. Yeah, think we got it. Awesome.
One more time.
No. I think we got it. I don't want to. I don't want you to suffer if you don't have to. Okay, now what I would like to do is basically give you a tip on how to use super ordinary household things you can find in any household to make super simple stuff that you can use for aggressive sound design or the hybrid tracks. Like, can you give me the power cable, please? Like, let's have a nice tutorial on how to make how to properly record a hair dryer and make that we will later use to make, I think few dozen risers out of it. So this thing is my fiance's hair dryer, and I'm gonna plug it in now, or I'll ask Yatakuna to do it. So we'll just record it for a couple of seconds, and it actually has 2 speeds, so basically we already have 2 risers in it. Only thing that we need to do later is basically automate the pitch and maybe give it a bit more drive, and that's it. Hair dryer risers. Yeah, I'm just gonna turn it off now on account of it warming up my beer, and I just realized that. But cheers anyway. And the second item I found in my shed is basically a drill, which will serve pretty much the same purpose. The only thing that's great here is basically it's a different sound, so why not have different sources when we can? I believe you can hear the potential here. It is both fun, and now we have 3 or 4 different sources that we can use to make whoosh, to make riser, and we will do exactly that and give you the results probably by the end of today, tomorrow. So if you haven't already, please sign up for the mailing list in this link I posted in the description of this video, because that way we'll be able to send you this sound pack once it's done. Now, what we wanted to talk about and do are some textures that you can do with maybe with an acoustic guitar, or we do have some super strange instrument here that we were planning to use as a kind of a standalone library. It's a national instrument here in Balkans and in few countries, and it's pretty much has only 1 string, and it's bowed instrument. You pretty much bow it with this. In the old days, this thing used to be made with I think it was horse hair and probably skin of some poor animal, but today this is not the case here. I think it's nylon, but we will give it a try anyway and see what happens. I used this one, exactly this piece, to make some textures for the track that was used in the Brightburn trailer, so I think that's gonna be useful for everyone, especially for people who maybe live in the places where you cannot get something like this. It's a super freaky and strange thing. So let's give it a try. I'm just fucking around. But yeah, you can hear these textures here. You can see.
Sounds creepy.
I know people are actually playing this thing, and I've been trying for years, but it sounds like two shits to me, except for this part that you can have all these types of really nice freaky things to like scratch on. But yeah, I think I will probably try to get a few more of these, because I'm suspecting that this piece that I have here, like this one, is actual piece of shit. So maybe that's why it sounds like shit. But you can get the idea. All kinds of things you can bow, and people are bowing like cymbals and the acoustic guitars and the electric guitars. And I think Alaka has already made some progress on our guitar library with the bowing, and right,
Yes.
exactly with this thing. This is basically nylon stuck on a piece of wood. I think we'll have some fun samples, but alone like this, it really does sound strange and not so great. Also, like we banged few of the household things. You can use pretty much anything. I used this thing for not one but for many tracks, for pings and the ring outs. Where the mallets somewhere there. Why I used it, you can probably hear it because it has this ring out. It has almost like synth-like ring out. It's just it depends on how you hold it. Cool. Andrea asked if I can show how will I process it afterwards. Yes, I will try to do this. I'm not set up to do that right now, but I will set up a video and record my screen tomorrow during the day when I start processing this and compiling this into usable sound design elements. And I can maybe share that with you on this channel so you guys can watch it. So maybe every time we have this type of sound design session, we can have maybe a clip later or the day afterwards where I can show how I processed those elements. Of course, I will give you all these elements as raw elements and as processed elements, like elements that I processed and prepared for this sound design, to be sound design ready, like ready for usage. And then when you watch the video, maybe you can try and recreate some of those things, and then maybe we can discuss more about it. That's Cool. So you can expect that video probably during the day tomorrow. I will post it on Facebook and here, so you should get that info. Uh, as far as I know, what we can try and do now is maybe bow few more elements, but pretty much we can use acoustic guitar. It will give us some more texture. I have this guitar. I call it Batman for obvious reasons. It was broken in half here, and like I actually managed to tune it up a bit, so maybe we will be able to bow some things out of it. No, I'll try to use the actual bow that I actually have, because I was playing around with this today and it made some decent sounds. Let's give it a bit more gain here.
Should have.
I'm not trying to accomplish anything. I'm just bowing until I get something that's interesting, and then afterward I'll cut it up, process it, and just keep it as a texture. Yeah, as you can see, it's a old guitar. Is the cheapest possible bow that you can get, like, ever. And what's happened here that you can hear, and I hear it, you can hear a lot of stuff that you will hear, let's say, in Chernobyl or Arrival or any of those movies that I do love, and it's like bunch of bowed elements. They're actually guitars that are meant for bowing. They're actually guitars that are fretless, that are much easier to bow other than this one. We have recorded a bunch of instruments and a bunch of samples with bowed electric guitars, maybe I can include some of those in the pack tomorrow, even though it's not sampled right here, right now. But you can see that just by bowing and changing simple positions on the guitar, whatever string instrument, you can get really nice textures that you can manipulate in all sorts of way, like with the pitch shift and some maybe drive, some saturation, nice reverb, and there you go. You have a sound that no one has ever heard before. It's never been used before, and when everybody says like, "Hey, is this a signature sound? How did you make this?" You can say, "Ha! I banged my whatever thing in my household, like I smashed my what's the word for it? I don't know. I don't know the word in English. I don't care. I cook stuff in it. So yeah. If you guys have any questions, feel free to post them now. As like I said, I will work on these samples a bit later and tomorrow, and post the sample pack and the video of what I did with all those things that I made today. In order to get those, of course, like fancy YouTube guy, I will say subscribe here and join the mailing list on the link burazaudio.com/streams. Mirza says it's called Sherpa. I think I think it's something. Booraz actually means bro in our language. That's why we called it, because like the company like that, because it's like 3 or 4 bros just having fun, having beers, and it's like that's simple as that.
We are fellas.
Yeah, fellas. No.
Fella, man.
Jesus, no. Bro is much better. We just want to have fun and do sound design and record shit and share it with people. So I hope you guys enjoyed this debut live stream. We will try to do next one with much better audio and the actual mixer and the proper routing here, so everyone can have a microphone and we can record all of these things in stereo. And then maybe it's a good thing. Now we will work with mono samples and really simple sound design, and later we can work with stereo imaging and how to get really nice with textures, with yeah, my fiance just popped in. It says it's a pot. Of course the word is pot, I'm just too retarded right now. With a stereo width and the general use of the textures. I mean, with one texture you can fill out the frequency range in the ways that there is no need to use anything else. Like, we are also all about that. Use as less elements as you need to use. Like, don't overcomplicate, don't overlayer, don't use stuff that you really don't need to use in order to get the sound you want. So yeah, that's about it. Any more questions? Or we can go our way and just have like maybe 20 beers now until my fiance gets home and kills us all. Yeah, I'll really do my best. I think I will post video probably around the same time tomorrow evening. In Facebook and in the YouTube channel, so maybe I can include yeah, these rings in the back are inspiration for when there is no inspiration in my mind to compose. So that's why here we also have a mini fridge here that's keeping our beers cool. Cool, guys. Thanks for watching. Thanks for popping in. If you find yeah, it's the inspiration for sound design. After a few of those, you can hear all kinds of shit in your head, man. If you find any of these useful, we will have really more serious things coming along. we will talk more about microphones and microphone positions and microphone types and how to set up things in live and or in studio or in your home, so you can get really nice sounds and probably save some money from buying like super expensive libraries. You can make bunch of those things yourself, especially when it comes to sound design and the hybrid stuff. You don't need pretty much hybrid toolkits or the this and that. You can make like 90% of that to sound really nice right there in your home, and we will try and share as many tips as we can from you for you to learn those things. So thanks for watching one more time, and hopefully see you probably in 2 weeks. I will announce it. We will have one more stream this month, but tomorrow you can expect the clip of me working on those samples. Thanks for watching one more time. Cheers, everyone. Yeah, thanks, Angry. That's a really nice tip. We can do that. We can do episode 2 as talk about mic positions, and episode 3 can be processing. No problem.